Well, this is mixed emotions to be up here, becoming the past president. It's been wonderful to lead you all and been an honor to be the president. First, what I'd like to do is have the people that joined over the past year come up and receive a little packet with some pins. Many were recent members. Walter, you can come up, please.
Let's give everyone a hand.
There you go, and there are your pens.
Nice.
And Mike, if you Thank you. Then we have Shannon, even though you pinned Yes, now you're very official. And then Rebecca.
Yay. Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm just so glad to have had you all join our club. You've all already brought many great new things, and I think add to the diversity and the great group that we have here. So, let's see where else to start. So, I'm going to start off with a story that Carson knows and some of you may know, but. So I was one of the original charter members of this club. I think I might have actually been one of the first calls. Oh, I was the first call that Greg made because one of my work colleagues was saying, oh, I have this colleague that wants to join a Rotary Club. Next thing I know, Greg's calling me saying, hey, I want to start a new club. How about it? When are we setting the meeting up? And so that's kind of where it got started. And then Carson was at the next one. And I was going to be the president. And then I got pregnant with twins. So Carson and I spoke, and Carson graciously said, you know what, I was going to be president the following year, let's just switch it up. So then the next year, towards the end of the term, I found out that I was pregnant with my son. And I called Carson and said, Carson, so, I don't know how to say this. And Carson was literally one of the first people in my life, besides, my immediate family, that found out that I was pregnant. But I was so anxious about it. I was like, Carson, I'm pregnant again.
You were supposed to abstain.
And Carson laughed and said, there are easier ways to not be the Rotary president. and I was feeling so much anxiety about it, and Carson just immediately, his laugh and then his comment has just always stuck with me. And that, I think, really speaks to the camaraderie that we have as a Rotary Club. And then he went on to be like, you know what, I think let's talk to the other people, but I think you'll be fine. And I talked to Chris, and he agreed to cover, and I owe him several months. So if he's out a lot this next year, well, I do owe him. But I think that the group of friends and the club that we are is really all about helping and pitching in and being a club together and supporting one another. Yes, I'm the president, and you do get the head turns and so what are we doing? And making those decisions, and that's a great privilege. But we also have such a great leadership team. It's not just one person, it really is the team and coming together and all the hard work that we all put in. Just yesterday, people were at Storytown, loading and unloading books and sorting through and making sure that we have that Storytown put together. So one of the things that I am the most proud of is our literacy project. We decided towards the beginning of my term as president that we wanted to really focus on literacy because we felt like that tied into so many different pieces of life, and being able to impact young people, especially with literacy, and people moving here who maybe didn't speak English as their first language, and all those things. That literacy makes such a difference for people. So we got some local people together because we wanted to make sure that the literacy project that we chose would really make a difference, that it was really something that the community needed, not just us as a Rotary group saying, hey, we want to do this great thing, and maybe it wasn't hitting what was needed in the community. So we got a great group of people, had a wonderful meeting and discussion, and chose the project of putting some books in a school so that these children would have free access to books. We learned a lot during our service project, I think it's fair to say. We thought we were picking a easy project. Hours and hours of work and discussion later, it launched. But it is a great thing, and now I believe it's 520 students in the school now have access to free books. We were worried about having enough books. Now we're trying to figure out what to do with all the excess books. But it's great to see it grow, and that's just a testament to this club coming together, working, and making something happen, and working through all the pieces that go along with that and figuring it out. And as a newer club, we are working on a lot of things. We don't have the 100 years of history that some clubs do. We're not trying to change our club, we're just trying to build and grow our club. And I think that puts us in a very amazing and unique position because we don't have the history. Yes, we talk to other clubs, and I have certainly talked to presidents of other clubs, past presidents, area governors, Barton Goldberg, who was our past area governor. Russell, I've already called. Even before he was area governor. He was nice enough to take my call. Greg is certainly another great resource. But so we're in this opportunity to just build and create what we want our culture to be. And I think, just to reiterate what Carson's already said, we're a very different club. We're very young, we're very diverse, and I really do think that we are what Rotary is trying to become. When you go to some of the big conferences and the national things, this is what they talk about, and I feel like our club already embodies that. And I think it's part of our mission is to keep that going. And I see that with the new people that we've recruited, the new the new members that we have that are interested in joining our club. I think we have an amazing energy, and I think a lot of us are not necessarily morning people. I know with 3 young kids it can be hard to get out the door to get here on time, but I've made it my mission, like Carson did his year of presidency. Like, I have to leave the house to get here on time because you can't ring the bell if you're not here. But you feel so good, and it's such a nice way to end your week and start your weekend by having these friends. And I really do truly consider the people in this room to be my friends and to be the people that I can turn to when something happens. And that's an amazing feeling, and I think that that's a great thing for our club, and to be able to keep that going. And I'm very excited to see where Chris has, our incoming president, all the new places that he's going to be able to take us, the new things that we have slated. Carson mentioned the strategic plan. We do have one. We think we've laid out a map. We've been including Cindy in that so that we really can keep our plan going and moving and keep everyone clear and on the same page. Doesn't mean it doesn't evolve, but I think that's the way that we are able to accomplish and keep moving forward and doing such great things. And I know one of the things that Chris wants to tackle is our fundraiser this year, and starting that so that we have something that we can be put on the map for, as well as Storytown, something that also brings in some revenue for the club so that we can keep going. And I think that will be great. Carson already mentioned all the great work we do donating to some of our local causes. I think we're a very generous club in our Happy Bucks. It's most of us don't just put in $1. We're normally putting in multiple bucks. We also believe in the power of the basket here in our club. We've been able to, instead of using that money for our own club, we typically turn around and give that money out to causes. We've supported Victims' Rights Foundation. We have, when there was the terrible, tragic fire in Silver Spring, we were able to raise a lot of money for those fire victims. We've also donated to the Hope Benefit for police. So we've been able to, I think, do some other really neat things very locally and internationally. We've also done some stuff internationally with that money. But These are all things that I hope that we can continue. And on that note,